Miss Mapitsodlepo, you are the recipient of a prestigious award. The CMO Asia Awards under the South Africa NGOs Leadership Awards category 2019. This event, prestigious event on the 4th of April at the Hilton Hotel in Johannesburg. You were the winner, or rather the recipient of the Women Leadership Award. How do you feel?
I'm very, very excited. It didn't actually come as a surprise. When you live for social change, even in your personal capacity, it makes the work that you do, even at a professional level, very, very easy. I was very, very excited that I was nominated by my peers, some that I don't even know, but it made me realize that I'm on the right track. There's something that I'm doing right. And it reminded me also of a verse in the Bible, that a savior is never recognized from, or a prophet is never recognized from his hometown, but rather it will be strangers that will be able to identify his or her good deeds. It does clearly articulate that in Luke chapter 4 verse 24. So I'm very, very happy.
You sound extremely happy. And that's a good thing. The CMO Asia Awards obviously are generally in the Asia Pacific region with about 40 countries involved. And as I understand it, South Africa is one of only a handful of countries that have now become part of this setup of awards. This specific one is on Women Leadership Award in the individual award categories. You work for SAMSA, which is, you cannot actually describe it as an NGO in the stricter sense. But the work that you do fits in within corporate social responsibility. In fact, it is corporate social responsibility investment. How did you get involved?
If you look at the kind of work that I do, and based on the mandate of the organization, it's basically inland and also along the coast. But you realize that the communities that we serve as an organization, they are very, very rural. And it's, the way we have started as SAMSA, we have not even filtered into the, your peri-urbans, but it has been mostly rural. And and based on that, and based on the category, and that the awards are very NGO based, you will realize that most NGOs are found in those rural communities. And if you also look at the criteria of the award, it was broken down into 5 categories of storytelling, gender specific to specialization, and women who had the ability to influence, and women that would be able to provide opportunities and resources, and lastly the one on social change. And Maritime being very, very new in the space of Africans, or understanding what is it exactly that Maritime does in communities. That is the space that now we occupy, where we are changing their mindset through our 3rd mandate of creating awareness to South Africans on maritime. So that's how we got involved, and that's how one has been recognized to say we're bringing that change for our communities to realize the importance of maritime, that there is life also under the water that our communities have to be able to to be able to take care of and understand and appreciate. And also, the environmental aspect of it, which is very key, since most of our communities, they stay along the river and along the ocean. So that for us is very key. So the key aspect of it is that how, as an organization, we are becoming the change agents to communities is in understanding and appreciating, maritime or the blue oceans economy, as other people will call it. That's the space that we play from a social, social upliftment perspective.
But also not just raising awareness, as I understand it, but also corporate social investment, the space within which you play in your specific role. Obviously, in bringing about awareness, the interventions. Can you talk about the nature of interventions, for example, that we invest in maritime environment, so to speak, that people surrounded by water, whether it's inland or along the coast?
I think before even talking about interventions, it's very important to highlight that as a parastatal, we adhere and observe the National Development Framework, which is our basis in terms of guiding us in what we do. And you will remember that, that the National Development Framework looks at about 3 to 4 key aspects. One of them is to promote sustainable and stable development of the country and to improve the quality of life. And also it illuminates the main task of the state and society to achieve a balance in sustainable development. So those are, for me, are the key extracts. Those are the key points that one could extract from the National Development Framework in terms of aligning that to the organizational strategy and what CSI wants to drive within SAMSA. But to take it further, that as an organization, we also adhere to the global sustainable goals. If you know, there are 17, but I would like to talk to about 4 that we think that we are aligned to, which is the goal 4, which talks about quality of education. We do have maritime awareness. That maritime awareness, we do the awareness in rural areas to schools, in our kids having to understand the opportunities that are there in the education space, for maritime growth or for growing the economy, and the skills that we introduce through exhibitions and yes. And then I'd like to talk also about the goal 11, which talks to sustainable cities and communities. The kind of programs that we bring in, or the kind of programs that we take to the communities, talk to those sustainable communities through the focus areas in CSI, which is your education, and education obviously of offering skills through water sports development or water skills development, entrepreneurial development, whereby currently we are building a boat repair center that will give young people or the unemployed youth to have an opportunity and appreciate that these boats that they see, on our oceans, they also have the capability to actually build them from scratch. So that's the kind of awareness that we are bringing to our communities, to our youth, to say that the opportunities are there. Also talk about goal 14 and 15. It talks about life below water and life on land. life below water also is your corporate social investment over and above. We observe our second mandate of ensuring that we combat pollution. So our communities needs to be also, made aware that, a dirty environment, throwing plastics into our oceans, into our rivers, it can also affect those the life below sea. So that's the education that we take to our communities, so that they can understand that that life below water also contributes to food security, and therefore we have to preserve and look after that life. That is our fishes, anything that is under the water. We have to appreciate and look after it, so that we do, and then to avoid pollution. Life on land is also very important, as initially indicated or alluded, that the kind of skills that we are providing through CSI, be it lifeguarding or deep sea diving, it's essentially to assist our communities to be able to look after themselves, to talk to the mandate of safety, for our communities. Those are the kind of programs that we are busy with. There's quite a lot of of programs that we also do that are also in relation to aligned to the national calendar, like your Nelson Mandela Day that we do for our old people, and all those things all those activations, we try and do them along our oceans and our sea, because we have people that have never even been near to the ocean, and by virtue of being taken to the ocean, they begin to appreciate, what God has created, and the kind of beautiful country that we have as South Africa. So that's the kind of work that we do as an organization.
That's wonderful. There's a heavy bias there towards awareness, not just awareness, but education and skills development. But now, the award here is in recognition of women leadership. Talk to that. Talk to me about being a woman in this space and doing what you do.
Wow, we can spend the whole day. Women in general, when they refer to us, they refer us as umbokodo, and that's what we are. Women, both in the workplace, at home, in our communities, they play a role, directly and indirectly, of actually sustaining their families, their communities, and also here at work. We do those things without even realizing. They come naturally to us, because that's how we've been built. That's how the Creator has built us to be nurturers, to give, to be change agents of our environments, of our communities, of our families. Therefore, this leadership that you're talking about, it is not something that one applies for apart from the qualifications that one would have. This comes naturally. Women are born with this. We are born to lead. We are born to be change agents. Though we appear perhaps vulnerable, but we are the ones that are we are the shapers of society. We are the ones who give birth. We nurture our kids. I can go on and on and on about the role of women leadership. In my role, it becomes easier in the kind of in the space that I operate in communities, because it's something that comes naturally. It doesn't feel like work. You feel that you are in a space, you are in your own space of environment, of helping the community that you live with, or the community that you are surrounded with. So you have to go in there and identify what is it can be done, and you even exceed the mandate or what you've been asked to come and do professionally, because you always carry that motherly instinct within you to reach out.
And of course, they do call you the princess, Nkosazana.
Kakade ndiyi Nkosazana yakanala. Yes.
Wonderful. All right, now let's look at your aspirations, aims, goals, vision going forward. Personally, I mean, your personal vision, aims, and goals, given the platform that you now have as a recipient of Africa's Women Leadership Award. Professionally, I think you have partly explained in terms of you being the person you are and being a woman who has now been recognized in terms of leadership, but also just looking at yourself and going forward.
From a personal point of view, the kind of work that I do, and something that I've never even shared maybe with my peers, or even my colleagues at SAMSA, I normally say that my CSI work is not a job because it pays me a salary. It's within me. If you can interpret and understand the meaning of my name, which is Mapito. Mapito is a calling, Imbizo. Therefore, one has been brought to earth to serve society, and for me it's a journey, and this journey I'm currently enjoying it, because even in my own personal space, I, apart from the work that I do at SAMSA, I do that religiously to give. I see myself going from strength to strength, from a professional point of view. One has not reached the pinnacle of their career. I'm hoping that SAMSA will grow and realize that the CSI work will command a bigger space, a bigger, more resources, and moreover, we can also one day have our own Maritime Foundation as a country, and in that case we'll be able to actually attract more partnerships, more global funders to drive the maritime agenda of the country. I do hope and wish, whether if I'll still be at SAMSA, even when I'm out of SAMSA, that this is work that is bigger than me, that will still continue to change the lives of ordinary people and the lives of all South Africans, and South Africans to appreciate the maritime space, or the maritime opportunities that we have, and grow from strength to strength.
That's wonderful.